Northerners have too many reasons for feeling left out in the cold. Until recently, one reason was that unlike people elsewhere, Northerners hardly ever sighted an unidentified flying object. Well, we're glad to report that this shortage has been overcome. Within the last few weeks, there have been half a dozen UFO sightings in the far north, including the one you'll see right now. The plane, a Northbound Airways Grumman Tiger. The flight path, Churchill, Manitoba to Yellowknife. The complement, 12 passengers, a crew of 3. At 2010 hours, as they say, the pilot spotted something that stayed within line of sight for a full 2 minutes. One passenger, a government engineer, said that what they saw was definitely a craft under intelligent control.
We're cruising at 21,000 feet, and we first sighted it in a position about there, coming across, I would say, about a 45-degree angle to our flight path. And you could see a trail, sort of like a jet trail. And as it got a little bit closer, we could see sort of a fog going back with this vapor trail. And we realized it was something unusual, and the co-pilot called on the intercom to the passengers, told them to look out the right side, they'd see something unusual.
The course was roughly in opposite direction to ours, and certainly if it wasn't flying on a level course, it was fairly close to it. For the length of time we saw it, there was no pronounced change in altitude. It was just slightly above the aircraft.
Well, it appeared cigar shape, only pointed on both ends, as though it could have been a saucer, of course, but it was definitely pointed on both ends. You could see that much of it. So he had to be moving 3,000 miles an hour, probably, down at that altitude. Pretty hard to do with any equipment on Earth that I know of. We descended down to our level and went on by on the right side, and it's difficult to say how far away because you don't know the size of the thing. However, it appeared to us about a 3/4 of a mile to a mile, and we could see a row of windows down the side, oval-shaped windows, and also when you got a beam of us, when this bright light was no longer in our eyes, then you could see lights on top, lights below, and this fog all over the whole thing, sort of as though it was creating its own vapor from the speed. As soon as it got by, we were all sort of clinging on that windowsill. We turned around behind it to see if we could see it again, and I think I also didn't like the idea of it coming in behind us or something. And as we turned behind it, we were sort of fogged right in. And we climbed up another 2,000 feet to try and get a look at him. He just disappeared. We heard Transair talking to Churchill, climbing out of there on a flight south. So we give Churchill a call to report this sighting, hoping that maybe the Transair flight would have been able to see him as well. And we couldn't get out on the radio. I have a feeling that our radio was blanked by this thing passing us. 3 of us were in the cockpit at the time, co-pilot, myself, and the stewardess was working in the galley, and we called her to come and have a look. We all 3 seen it and pretty well agreed identically on the thing.
Part of my job here at sightings of this nature are directed to me. The conclusions are obvious, I think, that we either had one or several meteorite or fireballs across the area. When I interviewed Darrell Brown, he did indicate that the object had appeared to descend towards his aircraft and appeared to turn slightly towards his aircraft and continued on by at a in-level flight and in a constant direction. And he did say he saw what appeared to be oval-shaped windows along the side of the object. He also said he appeared to be very brightly lit, and well, I can't really explain it. I don't know.
Dr. J. Allen Hynek, chairman of astronomy at Northwestern University, is the author of The UFO, a scientific inquiry.
Well, during my 20 years and even more experience with the U.S. Air Force as consultant, as an astronomer, as consultant on the matter of unidentified flying objects. Over those period of years, I've interrogated many, many hundreds of people who have said they've had UFO experiences, pilots included, and air traffic control operators and so on. People of very high reliability. And the thing that's impressed me over the course of all those years was that to the people who had the experience, to them it was a very, very real event. My own conclusions over these 20 years has been that you simply cannot explain all of them as simple misperceptions of birds, balloons, aircraft, or Venus, or something of the sort. There is a residue, a hardcore residue of cases which simply defy explanation. In this particular case, we cannot definitely rule out either a bright meteor known as a fireball or as a satellite reentry. There are elements in this that could be explained in that manner. We need to know, and this needs further investigation. We've got to find out precisely how long it lasted, what its exact trajectory was, and also we must check to find out whether there actually was a satellite reentry at that time.
I've been flying for a little over 24 years now, and I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen any weird illusions of anything. I don't think we were seeing things that night. I really think it was something from outer space, and the size of the thing seemed at least 300 feet long from the view we had, if it was as far away as we think it was. If it was farther than that away, it was as big as a battleship.
Hello, morning. It's a new tang morning. It's a fresher way to begin your day. And be sure to see they start with vitamin C.
Tang orange flavor crystals. A little bit tangy, not too sweet. A fresh morning flavor. So, hello, morning.
Hi, I'm Giselle McKenzie, and I've just found an exciting new way to make a complete roast dinner at one time. New Roast N Boast. Inside, you get a strong oven cooking bag, but actually the secret is in the specially seasoned sauce mix. While roasting, the sauce vapors naturally baste the meat to give it a taste all its own. You get a roast dinner plus delicious sauce. New Roast N Boast. It makes a meal worth talking about.
Why are you taking you cool Listerine lozenges?
Simple. I have a rasping sore throat. I seek relief.
With Listerine's double action against sore throats?
With whatever. The key is relief. The cooling, soothing relief I can feel on my throat even now.
That's Listerine's double action. An anesthetic to soothe irritated tissues fast, plus an antiseptic to help eliminate germs that can cause sore throats. Double action.
That's not the point. Relief. That's the point.
You cool Listerine lozenges. Double action for sore throat relief.
She's got the freshest mouth, you can tell. She's got the freshest mouth in town. Mouth in town.
What makes her breath so fresh? Dentin. Dentin's tingle tells you your mouth is fresh, your breath is fresh. Chew delicious Dentin for the freshest mouth in town.
She's got the freshest mouth. Yeah, she's got the freshest mouth in town.
Available in Dentin Regular, Spearmint, and Peppermint.
W5 will be back next week when we'll have a report on the latest use for computers determining when people are dead. And next week, of course, is Grey Cup, that annual contest to see which Canadian city can afford the best American football players. I'm Tom Gould. Good night.